Miss C again. I'm here with another challenge and another topic for Miss Chris and Miss Gabby. So today, I'd like to talk about scientific variable in the form of a straw rocket. Now, a straw rocket has many different parts. And I want to get my straw rocket the furthest. Now, a variable is very important in the scientific community for scientists, inventionists, and so in order to get the best product, if you've ever been on an airplane, or if you've ever seen a rocket thrown into space, or if you ever just bought a product from the store, you have bought or been on the final product. Now, in order to get this product, there have been many trial runs to get to that final product. Now, scientists or inventionists use what is called a variable in order to test individual pieces of their invention to see how to get the best product or invention. Now, how does that translate to a straw rocket? Well, a straw rocket has many different variables. It has its fins, it has the length of its body, and it has the length and shape of its cone. And it also has, well, which type of material you are using. Now, if I were to just test the length of my rocket and change my fins, the length of my fins at the same time, I want to know which variable helped my rocket get further. So in order to get the best possible results, or the best rocket, straw rocket, I have to test each individual variable on this rocket in order to create, I call it the super rocket, to get it the furthest. Now, I printed this up from the internet. So this is my controlled rocket. I went ahead and made 3 other rockets, and if you notice, they all have different size fins. So I got my smallest, I got my medium-sized fin, and I got my largest fins. Now, what I'm going to do, and what I've already taken the liberty to do, is I'm going to put these rockets through 3 trials each. Now, why 3? Because I have human error, where when I can't just hook it up to a pressure machine and have it flown across at the same pressure each time. I'm breathing through a straw, so my breath, or my power behind the straw, can be different each time. So I do 3 trials and take the average from each variable, or each rocket, and I take the average and see which wingspan at the end of the 3 trials made my rocket go the furthest. Okay. And Miss Chris and Miss Gabby will pick one variable and change the variable 3 times, whichever length or paper they want, and see which variable that they did made the rocket go the furthest, and then we put all these variables that made the rocket go the furthest together to create our super rocket. So I'm going to go ahead and take my smaller wingspan, and I'm going to stick it into the straw. Now, I don't want to stick it too far, because if I stick it too far, then I won't be able to get it off the straw when I breathe. So, what I'm doing right now is I have the tape measure set up, and I want to stand at the base of the tape measure so that I'm standing at the same spot every trial. Okay, so that was my smaller rocket. Now, ideally, I would have a piece of string, which I don't have with me right now, where obviously the rocket isn't going to fall directly on the tape measure. It might fall out of it, so you might want to take a string, well, from the tip of the rocket or the end of the rocket, whichever place went the furthest, and measure up to the straight line to the tape measure, and then you'll see how far the rocket flew. So let's record this. So my rocket went medium-sized wing rocket, paper rocket, and do the same thing. Make sure I don't want to stand right at the edge of the tape measure. I want to stand behind it because this has some distance here. That went really far. That actually went really well. So let's record that. So that rocket actually went roughly 135.5 inches. Okay, I'm going to take my large wingspan. That kind of got interference. I'll clear my lane. And I will do it one more time. And you can always redo it if you think that the rocket was an outlier or if something interrupted its flight path. Okay. So that rocket, the furthest, went about 76 inches. Okay, so clearly, by just looking at this, my medium wingspan rocket, by looking at each 3 of the trials, my medium span rocket wings went the furthest. Now, once Miss Gabby and Miss Chris are done with their variables, experimenting with their variables that they choose, we will put my medium-sized wings, and I wrote down the measurements of what I did for each one, onto their variables and see how far our super rocket can go. Well, that is my challenge to you guys. Thank you so much for listening and having me.
This is Miss Chris.
And Miss Gabby from the Woonsocket Harris Public Library.
Thank you, Miss C, for your rocket challenge. We accept. Miss C has already measured the wingspan of the rocket. Today I'll be measuring the body of the rocket.
And I'll be doing the cone length of the rocket. And
Together we will be measuring which of the rockets flies the farthest. We tested the variables. We tested wingspan, which we found to be the medium wingspan was the best in the trial. We tested the body length, or the fuselage of the rocket, and we found that the largest size was the best in that trial.
And then we also tested the cone length, and we found out that the smallest one was the best one. And then after we tested all the materials off camera, and then we discovered that construction paper won over copy paper and cardstock.
We'll put a link to the NASA site below where you can try this at home using the same templates that we used here. They also have a helpful video that you can follow right along to construct your own rocket at home. And we hope you enjoyed rocket science with us at the Woonsocket Harris Library.
Bye!